Okay, what we're going to do next is we clicked on, I'm just going to back up just so everybody can see, I said PO homepage, create new PO, okay? The first thing it asks us for is, what is your vendor, okay? And right now, we don't have any. What should we put in as a vendor? Why don't you guys come up? Do you guys want to do?
Shannon's Happy Eggs.
Okay, great, great. So, if all of us do it, we'll end up making a number of vendors, okay?
Okay, so you want all of us to add some vendors.
What you're going to do is each one of us said create a new PO. We're not all working on the same PO, so you have a PO open. It doesn't really even exist yet. I have one, you have one, et cetera, okay? Let's figure out, before we start just jumping, like this first time I don't think it's a huge deal, but why don't we do something like, let's think something fictitious. Give me a subject, and then we'll all kind of pick a vendor according to that.
Okay. So we could either do candy always works good, or we could do like fruits and vegetables or something.
Okay. Sure, we just kind of need some direction. So basically what happens right here is that we're at the right stage, but if we don't have a goal, we're literally shooting in the dark.
So are you talking about the vendor payee name filter?
Okay, so in order to add one, I have to search to see if it exists, because I don't want to add them over and over and over again. Say I have Walmart as my vendor, okay? I don't want to add Walmart, go through, add any sort of address, account numbers, whatever, and then the very next time have to do that same thing over and over again. So the process is you search first. If it exists, you just use it. If it doesn't, you add it, okay? So why don't you just think of...
Brandon's Fruit Market.
I'll do my own. Why don't you guys do each of your own, okay?
Well, we're doing it on what subject?
So depends on what you want to put the items in. Like, it really is very important that you know, like, what is your subject.
Well, if there's one there, what does it show you?
Okay, watch this right here. If you wanted to see, if I go printable list of vendors, and if I click on this, I actually don't have vendor permission right now, like to add them. Okay, so like basically I can use
that.
No, we said PO. Okay, so watch this. This is just another stacking order. Okay, but imagine like some of you guys might be like, hey, I'm the only one there. I want everything. Well, guess what? What if they had somebody else who was like, I'm going to set up OXO and this and this, and these are all my different vendors, and you get to just use them. You never get to actually create and touch. Okay, so it's just a different level.
So you type something in and did a search?
So basically, let's say like this, Walmart, W-A-L, okay? If I hit search, it's going to come back and, hey, I don't have it. And I don't even have a link up here to add a new one because guess what? I don't have that permission yet.
So
guess where we're headed?
Wait a minute, just wait a minute.
Yep, okay.
You keep going through this different ways all the time. Maybe I could just stick with one way.
Okay.
So the first way. So I put in a vendor name. You got an error message up there. I didn't get the error message.
Okay, correct. I clicked on, you said, how can I tell what do I have in here?
Yeah.
And I said, well, heck, I'm just going to go see if I can get a printable list of my vendors. And I clicked on it, and I got an error message, which immediately in my mind said, oh, man, I probably don't have the vendor permission. Okay? So what I'm going to do is basically we started down the PO path, but we didn't have everything we needed. So we're going to
now we're going to go back to user and get it.
Correct. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go home. We're going to go users. You're going to pick your name. And there is a system search option, which is come down until you can find vendor. This will allow you to search vendors.
Is it alphabetical order? No.
No, this particular part is not.
Okay, vendor.
Okay, then the next part is clear down and system maintenance. So I would find.
We want vendor, right?
You do want vendor, and if you read this right here, this permission allows a user to search by a vendor business name from the main home page. Once results are displayed, the user will have options of creating, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
And then
The next piece is actually system maintenance. So I'm gonna, what this does is it basically just jumps me down further into the page, and then I'm gonna look for add edit vendors. So it's a blue permission.
Add edit vendor. Okay.
So I added a search option and I added a main permission. Okay.
And that's it, all we need?
That's all we need. Now just go down to the bottom and say edit.
It's funny it says edit when it should say save.
Well, you're actually in the edit mode
Yeah.
of that particular person. So
All right, I'll give that to you.
So back to vendor now.
Okay, so now we're going back to POs?
correct. So now we go back to PO. We just didn't have enough permissions.
Okay.
So I'm going to click on create a new PO. And now if I wanted to click on this printable list, you're like, what vendors do I even have in there? If I click on this now, I should be able to
Uh-oh.
go through.
Mine says I don't have permission.
Mine says I don't have permission. What did I not do?
Correct. So basically what that means is it's probably tied to a higher permission than what I thought it was, and that's basically a bug. So we would report that and say, okay, Brandon, you need to fix that. Okay? And so,
So we're going to go back home, go to users again, right? You're going to find what higher permission it is.
yep, I am. And so what I'm going to do is I don't know which permission it is, but I'm going to see if I can find it really quick. I'm going to go Brandon, and I'm going to probably go into system maintenance or liabilities. And I'm just going to check.
Is it maintenance first or liabilities?
There's a PO admin, and I'm just going to see if one of those guys fixes it, just to see if I can actually get to all the vendors. Okay, I'm going to try the PO admin functionality. And basically the only other way I can do it is actually go into the code and say, which one is it actually looking for? System liabilities, I'm going to turn on.
Are we supposed to be turning?
No, I'm trying to find which one it is.
Okay.
What about,
And if it's not this, I'm going to check expense receipts because they're also tied to the vendor payees. I'm just kind of clicking through here because I really don't even know which one it is. We will try a couple of these. Okay, I turned on an expense permission. It was the basic expense permission that was kind of tied to that whole vendor list, like the printable part of the vendor list. Instead of POs, it was a basic expense permission. So,
Okay, so do we need to do that?
well, only if you wanted to see all of them that were in there, because.
Okay, so
where's expense?
from the start new purchase order, do I have to go back?
Okay, so let's all get to the same spot, because otherwise we're going to get lost. Okay. So Cheryl, talk us through where we're at. Let's all go to the home page, and then you can talk us through it.
Users,
Okay, so hang on. Are we talking permissions or actually adding a physical PO?
don't we have to add our permissions? We have to do the permissions so we can do it.
Okay. That was just to like kind of view that printable list of vendors. Apparently, it was,
Like you're saying.
apparently it was
we don't
tied
need
to the
okay.
basic expense permission.
Oh, so I
at
can
this
still,
point, we're
Yeah.
building.
Yep. You could technically add it, no problem.
okay, so then I want to go down to POs.
Okay. So you go to
So
PO.
we're not going to users.
No, we're going.
Not right this
We're
second.
building. We don't need to see that.
Unless you guys create an error, and then we'll go fix it.
POs,
Okay.
create.
Just be that way.
That's me. Yeah. Okay, then create new purchase order.
Okay. Click this little button. Create new purchase order.
Okay, so then should we look for Walmart?
Sure. So
Okay.
WAL.
So we're not going to do print a list of vendors.
No, unless we have to.
Well, how about Smith's?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay,
Yep.
so we're gonna add a new vendor payee?
Okay, because we turned on that add edit vendor permission, we got this button. 'Cause
Okay.
prior to that, we didn't have it.
Right.
Okay,
So
so
now we can
technically,
do that.
you would click on this.
And now each one of us are gonna add a vendor?
Okay, correct. So ideally, we should have searched for whatever. If you wanted to do Smith's,
Practice is to search to make sure they're not already there,
correct,
so that you
correct,
don't get double alignment.
exactly.
Well, when I
Exactly.
did print list the vendors, it didn't work. It gave us an error.
Right. And he went and found the
I was
permissions,
just kind of turning some permissions
but
on
we
and
don't
off.
need them.
Oh, you turned them on already?
Yep. Just on mine,
Yes,
on
but
my
we
account.
don't need them at this point.
So,
Correct.
am I gonna do a print list of vendors?
No.
No, that's just to kind of tell you, what do I have in here? What happens is like, right now, we're in a play site, so it's kind of like, well, what are we gonna do, and who knows? Like, we
But
don't.
that printable list of vendors theoretically as documentation sitting by somebody's desk. I mean, you can print them a list and have it there, or, you know, for paper, touchy-feely.
Yeah, once you actually start using the system, guess what? I can tell you exactly the people that I pay from my business all the time,
Right.
okay? I have web hosting and utilities and I know them by name, okay? We're in a play site and nothing's loaded in.
But
so
you
I-
automatically search generally, is that your protocol? Is to search?
We always search before we add, just
And then
because what
we
it does is it says, and sometimes we'll even limit it. So like, if we actually went to the same spot that we were at just a second ago, PO, create new, max of 4 characters,
Right.
keep it small. I'm going to make you search something small rather than going serendipity, you know, and maybe you misspelled it or something. All of a sudden you get duplicate vendors. Okay.
Okay.
So we forced you to kind of keep it small, and then you can say, hey, I'm actually searching a last name of this vendor, or I'm searching a whatever. So, why don't you do Walmart? Why don't you do Smith's? What's a
I'm doing Expercom.
Okay, great.
I already added one.
Okay, great. And I'm going to go see what Shannon added.
So do you really do business name, or can you do both if you wanted to, and it'll search business name? Priority is the business
Okay,
name, right?
so what you
Or
do?
do you really want either or?
The either or, basically, I'm going to hit back really quick, okay? This is a general, whatever I enter, it's going to try to match business name, first name, last name.
Right, but when I'm actually in adding a vendor,
Okay, you will physically put it into a specific field.
right, but if I have a business name, I can put the business name and first name, last name, I can put in
Okay,
anything I
you can,
want, correct?
it'll hold any information you want. Ideally for a business, what you want to do is, especially on customers, usually a business is a business, and if that business might have contacts, but that's not necessarily where you want to put them in the first and last name.
Okay, so I see
You-
the asterisk is by the business name.
Okay, but if you read the little thing right next to
First,
it,
last
it'll
name.
help you out.
Here we go, I understand. Read before you ask, no, sorry.
No problem. This is kind of important.
Should we add it?
It's an or, okay?
Or,
So I'm gonna. Is that how you spell Shopko?
yes.
So, but
Yep.
the address and that kind of stuff isn't part of or.
No, just the.
No,
first name.
so-
Just the first name, last name.
Correct. So the reason the or is right here is that either do a full business name or a first last name combo.
You know, you could make that better.
Tell me how, Mark. Tell me
One
how.
line.
What's
Put
that?
first name, space, last name in one line, so it's this or that. And then it's big space, and then you have the rest of the junk under it.
One, two, three, four.
Except it won't let you go on if you don't
Yeah.
have that last
Like
name.
if you
right?
don't
So-
do it that way and you actually just put it in as a first and last name.
Yeah.
Watch this right here. Just gonna move this down to first name, and if I go here, I'll have to figure out the rest of these pieces. I'll just try to submit it. It'll prompt me. It's like, hey,
Oh,
check the last
okay.
name. It requires this. But watch, I won't get that error at all if I actually take this up here to the business name.
Yeah.
It's trying to help you out. It's basically my next error should probably say something about city, I would imagine at this point.
So should
Check
we
the
go
city.
ahead and, what?
Whatever you would like to do.
I guess we want them active, huh? Or not? If we're
Yes,
gonna
they-
use them, they
yep,
need
yep,
to be
yep.
active, right?
Where's that?
Very bottom,
Bottom.
above, down page.
Correct. And once again, similar to customers, and we haven't even really talked about that, Tons of different information. The more you enter, the more you actually have later on to search and pull in your reports. It remembered that we were in the PO mode, so it should have automatically sent you to
Add edit purchase order.
add edit purchase order. Okay, so I chose a vendor of Shopco, so this next part is called the PO type. Now, inside of POs, there are literally probably 5 or 6 different types, and each one does different things. This is actually kind of getting into like different functionalities. Our body is one, but our hands do things, our feet do things, our mouth does something, our ears does something else. Like a PO type basically is almost going to like the different functionality level of what's going on. We're going to click Basic Live.
Basic what?
Line.
Where's he?
And see where it says CW? You can name this. So if you don't like what it says Basic Live, you could call this Ordered Products or Fulfilled Ordered or whatever you wanted to call it. Like you could name these things. A date, a location. There's an asterisk by notes, so you'll have to put some sort of little notes. It requires at least 3 characters. So I'm going to put
Scroll down because your screen's bigger, so you can't see the down. Click it in, you know, basic down. It's just your screen's a little too long.
now. Often when we're teaching people, we're like, click here, click here, click here, click here, and like, and some people they love that, and other people are like, whoa, like you're skipping all of this other verbiage that kind of helps you and be like, hey, do you need some more information? Do you need some like? It kind of depends on the speed and time. And once you do it a bunch of times, the thing is every single thing in business is repetitive. So once you do it again and again and again, pretty soon you're like, oh, got it on speed dial.
Now, do we have to put this in, since we just added it in? Do we have to put the PO amount?
If we don't know, we can actually circle back around later.
Okay.
Okay? So I'm just going to leave mine blank, personally.
So
And I'm gonna actually say-
put anything in the amount or vendor invoice number.
Okay,
nothing like
let's
that.
do this. Let's start at the top, and we'll kind of work our way down so that we're all on the same page.
So
Okay?
what page are we on now?
Mine says add edit purchase order.
Okay,
Okay, so the top says, hey, we're going to end up getting a new PO number that's going to be generated behind the scenes. Here's my vendor that I chose. Mine was Shopco. I told it to send to a basic live, which is vendor specific and immediately tied to inventory. The other option that I have turned on right now is this one, a request, which is also vendor specific, but it's temporary. It's not live yet. Okay, so this is kind of like a quote or an order or a it's kind of a quasi. I want it to be live. Basic, live, PO, vendor specific.
Oh, you can change it back and forth, didn't you?
I did, yep. Okay, we're going to come down. You have to have a date. It's required. You could even post-date that or like, say it was from, you're entering old things, okay? So Cheryl, say you've already got some stuff in. You could easily be like, oh, this came in at 3/7, okay, or whatever. You push it backwards, and what it does is it automatically remembers that, and it plays from that time forward as if it virtually was entered. The only thing different, the history will say it happened today, but the physical, effectual date is 3/7, okay? So it does require some notes. It's only 3 characters that it requires. What it does is we're trying to help you tell the story here. What is this for? What is it doing? You don't have to put, oh, I got 10 of these and 15 of this and 16 of this. That goes in your line items. That comes a little bit later, okay? Your receive date, once you go past this line right here, okay, this is how you kind of control the PO portion of it, okay? If you just need a number, you just leave it. Nope, I don't have the items. Go, okay? And it basically says, hey, here's your new PO number. All it does is give you a placeholder. If you start saying, hey, I actually received this thing, and you flip this to yes, I have them in my possession, all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay, I'm going to start recording this for its real live inventory, and I'm also going to start the life of the payable of it, okay? So that's kind of the little flip in the switch. If you don't know the amount, you could totally leave it blank, and you can fill it in later. If you do know the amount, you can enter it. I'm going to leave mine blank for right now. This is also a very, very handy field, this vendor invoice number. This is their number that they give you when you actually get it. So it might be 7777, whatever. You would enter that. What it does is it allows you to search. So if they call you up, guess what? They have no clue what number your PO is going to be. But they might say, hey, I'm checking on invoice number 777. And you're like, just a second. Oh, yeah. Looks like I actually paid you on this. And you'll be able to track the whole thing. But they don't know what your number is. This is your outside link to their number. Okay?
So that number going to correspond with Smith's.
Correct.
Or Walmart.
It'll physically be
That's
on the
their,
receipt.
it's like their,
So
like the number that these vendors have to post on their door.
correct. So here's one right here that we just made earlier. This is like the little receipt printer. So I would actually look on this and I would find it and it would say invoice number 16. Okay. So to me, invoice number 16 is what I would put in here if this was what I was really trying to put into the system. It's their number.
Your search feature is an incredible part of this process.
Oh, it's huge, but you have to load it first, okay? Once you get the data in, we can search anything. We really can. And just to show you, I'm going to kind of actually put the word test in mine, okay? So I can come show you how I'm going to search for it. I'm going to say, yes, they're in my product, in my possession, and say, add the PO. Just to show you how I can pull back that little test, watch this. I'm going to come up here to PO, advanced. You guys don't have to jump out of here, right? Okay? I'm going to come down here and I'm going to say, vendor invoice number, okay? What do I have under TE? Okay, this would basically put me right to it that had the word test in it. So if it was 7777, watch this. We'll change it really quick. Do an edit main. It's no longer test. It's now called 7777. Edit the PO. If I do the advanced search again, and I want him to say, hey, what's the invoice number? What do I have under sevens? 777. Okay, it'll find whatever you tell it that you're looking for.
So
okay?
it's not the vendor number then, it's the vendor's internal PO number.
It's the number they give to you. It's a statement number. It's an
internal
invoice.
invoice
Their
number.
invoice number. So that's an interesting concept. Okay, if I sell something to you, I'm going to give you a receipt for it, right? But technically, in my system, it's an invoice. But if you enter it into your system, technically, it's now a PO for you. So like they're all kind of like.
This
So
is a problem-solving piece of information.
So when I put in the 555,
Uh-huh.
I didn't really want to do that because I wanted 555 to correspond to Smith's.
Okay, so
And
that's called
321 for Walmart.
that's called an account number. And so you would actually go to the vendor. So watch this right here. If I go vendor and you did Smith's, I pull up Smith's, I come over here and I say edit, and I want to say account number 5555555. This is my Smith's account number. Okay, that's where that would go. Like what happens is you have to realize that all of these pieces, they get put into special little tables and containers. And once you learn where those are, it's literally, once again, like going to the store, okay? You're able to find your stuff incredibly quick once you know where the things are located at.